This pool has been filling up for about 4 days now, and it's nearly at the top. So I've decided that today's the day that I need to get in the pool. I want to be the first one to get in. So I'm going to go and do my stuff today. Then I'm going to come back and then I'm going to jump in.
I'm Paul, and I left the corporate world to come here to Sri Lanka to start a new business and a new life. Join me and see how it's going.
Come on! Come on! Come on! Come on! Come on! Come on, buddy! Here's another wonderful creature that's come to a sticky end on the beach. Special treat for the dogs. I'm on the way to the hotel now because the workers there are working on the hotel rooms, making them 100% again, and also they've started cutting the grass and working on the landscaping. So I'm going to see how that's going and to meet one of my friends to sort of plan out what we're going to get done this week. So that's pretty good. I found a new way to get there, a bit quicker, but it takes me down some more sort of local windy roads, and it's a bit harder to drive because there's like loads of people walking in the street, there's dogs, there's kids, there's animals crossing the road, so you have to be a bit careful, but it gets me there much faster. And I took a couple of days out really. I took a bit of 2 days to do some planning and some thinking because there were so many things in my head. I was getting a bit overwhelmed really, I think. So I needed some time to do some traditional sitting down and planning. So I feel a little bit better now. I feel that it's a bit back in my control now. The only problem is here that I find that, you know, because some things happen unexpectedly, and things don't necessarily work to the same kind of style and timeline that you might expect in some other places. You know, what I just find is that some small thing suddenly happens and it takes up the whole day, you know, and especially also because my business partner is sick and in recovery at the moment. You know, if there's some problem with him, then like say there isn't someone to look after him, or the physiotherapy guy isn't coming, or something like that, you know, or hospital appointments, you know, this all kind of takes priority, so everything is just blown off course. So it's quite a complicated situation at the moment, but we're getting there. Seems like there's something going on in the distance because all the traffic's slowing down. I'm not sure. There's something coming. What is it? Ah, it's some kind of road race. This looks like a marathon or something. Let's have a look. It's just amazing. I mean, these guys are running a marathon in heat like this. It's just totally incredible. Well, that was really amazing. They're running a marathon, and then, you know, if you go and see the London Marathon, then they giving out nice little bottles of water for the runners as they run along, all nicely sponsored by some rich corporation. And here they're running in absolute baking heat and all really looking exhausted. And then the people at the side of the road have got buckets of water, and they're throwing buckets of water over the runners to cool them down. So, I mean, if they could run like that here, wow. Imagine what they could do if the climate was a little bit kind of more temperate. If they ran somewhere else, an easy win. Anyway, I'm going now to pick up one of my friends who's helping me out, and we're going to go and get some paint on the way, and then go to the hotel and check that all out. So let's see. Some of these back roads are very, very narrow, like this one, and this car's quite big, so I don't think these roads are really designed for two big cars to pass. You know, they're really more for tuk-tuks, I think, and smaller vehicles. So if you get two big vehicles at the same time, you get really stuck. This is when I panic because my maneuvering skills and communication is not as strong as it could be. But let's see if we can make it okay. This is a Kills. This is like the most fancy supermarket in Sri Lanka. It's very nice. They've got everything you need, and the Bee Gees playing in the background. I mean, could life be more wonderful? You know, sometimes I feel a bit kind of guilty because food here is pretty cheap, right? But the most expensive thing I buy is this fancy dog food for the dogs. If you compare the price of the dog food to the price of the human food, it's just unbelievably more. So I think I need to find a more sustainable way to feed the dogs, I think, rather than this fancy super processed dog food. Right, so we've actually started to do something now, which is really good. They started to cut back all the grass. First go, it'll take a few goes to get it done, but at least something is starting to come together and something is happening. So I feel kind of a little more happy now. There's more people coming this week to make it go a bit faster, but at least we've begun. Let's see how we're doing up here. Right, so we started on the first room, I think, so we've got all the stuff cleared out of the rooms, all the mattresses and everything is out. So they've only really just begun, but it's good. If I go in here, right, he started on the first room, so it's starting to cover up all the little cracks and things and all of that, so that's a good start, I think. So we'll look out here, a bit of cleaning up to do out here as well, and a big mess down there for sure. This week there's some other cleaners coming to deal with all this mess at the back here. This one is painted, changed the colour completely, so this is good. So it's all going to be a white wall. So we're making some progress. It's starting to get a bit like it's in good condition, which is really nice. I feel much more positive now. I think I need to say something more about the price of dog food and what I actually mean. When I was thinking over the last few days about how it's going, one of the things I realised is that suddenly you have a plan of things to do in a day, and then a small thing that you didn't expect kind of happens, and it just throws you off completely, and you spend a lot of time sorting these things out, and the days go by very, very fast. So something like that has sort of happened today, really, is that I have a guy to do painting and decorating and sorting out the rooms, which is going pretty well. Those guys are doing well, but there was going to be another guy coming to do cleaning up outside, who was going to work with one of the guys that's already there, and he was going to come last week, and then he was delayed, and then now he's decided not to come, so we're one man down. So I've got everybody trying to see if they know anybody who wants to work for a few weeks. I'm a good employer, I'll pay okay, look after you, you get free food, but we need to find somebody. And the downside of this is that, when you ask people to help, people want to help, but they come up with all sorts of really inappropriate solutions. So I need to be careful who I ask. So I'm going to talk this evening to some people I know and see whether they can recommend somebody. I have one friend who his family comes from exactly where the hotel is in this area. So he might know somebody locally who just wants a few days work and can come and work with us. But that's another delay that I need to deal with anyway. So in a good British way, I'm dealing with it by coming to the pub because it's Saturday afternoon now. So this is a very irresponsible thing because I should go on and do something else. But I think I need a pint and then I'll go and do something. So cheers. This is a Lion beer. Right, I'm back home now and I've sort of set myself up a bit of a dilemma. I'm just jumping in now because I normally only edit these videos together in the strict order of when the things happen. But I need to jump in now because I need to tell you that the sequence you just seen and what you're going to see now was recorded after I drank 2 pints of beer in the pub. And I think I should say that just as a precursor to the conversation I'm just going to have with you. Okay? Thank you. Right, I'm back home now and I've sort of set myself up a bit of a dilemma. I'm quite a woke kind of person and this is like in my head now about this price of the dog food, right? So when I lived in London, I had 2 dogs and I used to feed them this dried food, the same dog food that I feed here to the dogs. And then the choice was the dog food, which was really what the UK people would describe, excuse me for the language, but being made up of eye-holes, ear-holes and arseholes. That's what's in it, right? And it's kind of in a tin. And it seems quite really not good quality. But the dry food was like absolutely top class. You know, this had all the nutrients in it that your dog needed, right? And I'm interested to hear from dog people, you know, what you think about this. So here, the dogs are fed with the same dry dog food, right? But like I just said, it's expensive. And I just worked out that it costs about 300 rupees a day to feed one dog. Okay, this is not a high price, this is not a lot of money, but it's all relative. Okay, so 300 rupees to feed a dog. And then today I've been to the Loop restaurant for lunch for somebody here. Now Loop is very high quality food. It's probably for local type food the best you can get. And a nice meal in there, this lovely takeaway biryani, costs about 800 rupees, okay? And that's the top end. The similar meal, if you went to just a local restaurant here and you wanted a lunchtime meal and you take takeaway food that everybody eats, costs about 350 rupees. So it's near enough the same price as the cost of the dog food a day, right? And then separately, because I'm feeling a little bit like I need some pampering, right, and I'm a Westerner, I went to Burger King and had a Whopper meal, which I'm really looking forward to eating, and that cost 2,000 rupees. So it's about what, 4, 5, 6 times the cost of feeding a dog a day, and it's over 3 times the cost of a delicious local meal. So the question is, am I paying too much for my dog food, and should I go for something else? And politically, is this correct? I mean, is it, am I being irresponsible by I just feel that I'm paying top dollar for my dog food and bottom dollar for my human food. Is that right or wrong? I don't know. I'm very confused about this now. I really need to think about this and see if I'm doing the right thing. I kind of think I should really go for more natural, local, because the dog food, the dry stuff, I'm sure it's wonderful, but it is like hyper processed, isn't it? I mean, it's super processed food. Who knows what's in it? The dogs just eat it and look at it in a very sort of boring kind of way. If you give them some other food, you know, some leftovers or something, they're much more happy. So they just kind of crunch along with that food every morning, because presumably it has loads of things in it that they like. I don't know, but I need to think about this. This is a big kind of thing in my head today. It's completely crazy, but I need to rationalise it. So I'll think about it a bit more, and then maybe later I'll just tell you what I think about it, because it's an unresolved issue for me.
The next day.
Earlier in the video, yesterday, I was getting very animated about the price of dog food. And I was a little drunk, so I was kind of quite excited about the subject. But the point I was making is still not clear, okay, in my head, right? It costs me $1 a day, US dollar a day, to feed the dogs. I can buy a meal sufficient to feed a human for $1.50. And I go into Burger King and I spend $6 on my lunch yesterday. How does all that make sense? I don't know. And am I feeding my dogs the right food? That's what I think. I just have some suspicion about this pre-processed dry dog food. I'm just not sure it's a good thing. I think maybe it'd be better to feed them some proper food, but I'm not sure. Anyway, as you can see behind me, the swimming pool, which is my biggest dream now, is actually full of water. So I've decided, as it's got to the top now, it's high time for me to try it out and give it a test, so I can be the very first person to swim in this pool. Now, it's not finished, it's not ready. There's all sorts of sharp and dangerous things all around. There's rubbish in the bottom of the pool. It's only full up with water just to test it out. So I'm going to get in with my slippers on, I think, and be very careful. But at least I'll be the first person. It's okay. Casper. Gigi.